Mike's Mayhem Season 2 finals are happening right now. We have Team XiS from Brazil versus TTV happening for you. A best of 3, and it is going to be an incredible match. We've had 2 banger games. I mean, Unite Mike's Mayhem history being made in the last 2 matches, and it's going to be no different with this final one. I'm so excited. Quickly, before we get into the game, though, a couple of housekeeping things. Huge shout out to our title sponsor of the evening, the Chad69 on twitch.tv. Go check out their stream after this one, or the days following an incredible Unite streamer. Thank you for your generosity for supporting the prize pool. That's the with 3 E's, and then don't forget the funny number at the end. Great stream. Check it out. And don't forget, Doopsnacks, what does ! Prize pool do?
Exclamation prize pool gives you the opportunity to go to a GoFundMe, which we've set up specifically for this event. Every dime that's in that is going to go to the winning squad here in an effort to support these teams, the competitive Pokemon scene, and ease the financial burden on us as Unite Mics here, because if we weren't doing this, all of the money would come out of our own pockets. And although we love everybody so much, we can only hemorrhage so much back into the scene to make this happen. So we generally appreciate any help that you can do, and so do all the teams that participate in this, and give them something very worthwhile to play for here. Zoinks, Emote Initiative, take it.
Emote Initiative, any dollar that you give directly to our Twitch channel via subscriptions, bits, whatever it may be, all of that cash goes directly towards a charity. Every single month you can see what charity we have chosen on Twitter when we post the donation. So go there, check it out if you want to get subscription. Get some of the cool emotes we have here on the channel. What is me going like this? It's a lot of fun. Doopsnacks does a similar one, but just with a different direction. It's a big fun twist. But yeah, you can check out those super cool emotes, spam them wherever you like if you're going to subscribe to Unite Mics, but just know that you're helping out make the world a better place in doing so. 1 for the emotes, 2 for the charity. All of that being said, Doopsnacks, the finals is happening right now. These teams are pumped and ready to play. I cannot wait to get into it. So we need to kick things off with a coin flip like we always do. I think we've been nailing it today. So XiS will be heads, TTV will be tails.
Flipping heads. XiS still undefeated on the coin toss here on Unite Mike's Mayhem.
All right, sounds good. I will let Baby Mazo and company know that they have first or second pick choice when it comes to this draft.
Time to do it. I'm excited. All
right, let's bring up the draft screen. Very similar teams when it comes down to playstyle. I'd say the tanks are probably the most different between these 2 teams. We have XiS with a very heavy reliance on Mamoswine, and TTV with a reliance on Snorlax. I'm sorry. Baby Mazo said first, and Inder said, we'll second pick then. So I'm glad the teams are getting along so well right now in the chat. They're really showing some good sportsmanship. Well, we are now awaiting XiS's first ban. We just had the chance to witness TTV play an exceptional best of 3 in their last game. In that match, they had Mew banned against them, and they had Gardevoir banned against them. Do you think that XiS is going to go with more of a traditional banning phase with Sableye and Blissey being involved, or do you think that the targeted bans towards TTV are the best option?
Yeah, no way XiS lets Sableye run through, right? So I like the Blissey, and then if TTV doesn't ban Sableye, they're gonna pick Sableye.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I can tell you the price. Okay, Sableye is the ban for TTV. That makes a lot of sense.
Which means XiS can take the Dodrio if they want to right off the rip, and then TTV can adjust accordingly.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, if anyone was curious where the prize pool is at, currently the GoFundMe is at $245. And then, of course, we're adding the $100 from Unite Mics that would normally be there. So $345 cash is going to be the grand final total so far. So thank you so much, everyone, for your incredible support so far. Exclamation mark prize pool if you want to make it even higher.
Yep. Any no dollar amount too low to make it happen. TTV taking Mew. Didn't XiS get the first ban?
Yes, they picked Dodrio, and I somehow jumped over that in my chat.
Okay.
Thank you
Uh,
for letting me know. She's gets Dodrio, TTV gets Mew, and they get Mamoswine. Okay, so TTV coming after the Mamoswine that has been a cornerstone of XiS's composition.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think that's a huge indication on how strong Mamoswine is right now. When you have such a resolute Snorlax player as Zugrug and such a skilled one at that, of course, we just saw that on display at the tail end of last game. Absolute superhero moves out of that Snorlax. Even they're like, okay, that was fun and all, but give me the tusks.
Yeah.
We trying to gore some folks out here.
Oh, yes, that is graphic, but it is true, folks. That is what Zugrug says every time he plays this Pokemon. Mr. Mime being selected alongside of the Azumarill. Mr. Mime is a nice Pokemon for Dodrio, not in terms of supporting them while they're in the action, but you're almost a little walking med camp whenever Dodrio decides to return to their team. Whenever you come
Hmm.
back, you get that quick leash, you get topped up, and then you get back in there. Mr. Mime, of course, provides value across the board, but that really is how that interaction between them and Dodrio tends to play out. And when you have a player like Baby Mazo, the skill caliber that they have on that Pokemon, Mr. Mime is going to be needing to support a lot of different angles.
Oh yeah, I mean that goes understated, and they of course, as you mentioned, they get into the pocket of Azumarill pretty well to go fight up front, which of course is good when you have something as robust as a Mamoswine sitting in your way and going to be trying to cut you off from the backline Pokemon.
Yeah, not at all. Now TTV needs to decide what direction they want to bring their own draft into. Sableye being banned away along with Blissey means that Ender does not currently have a home on this pick that we have seen so far. I definitely could see a support pick being ironed out, especially because the Mr. Mime has already been selected on the other side. We could see it here. We are seeing a Snorlax pick. We have seen Ender Snorlax before, and I thought it looked really, really good. Sorry if that's Scizor. That is actually banned from this tournament today. Snorlax is being picked alongside the Gardevoir. Man, Lutano is really liking this Gardevoir pick these
Mhm.
days.
Yeah, and they're setting up the Gardevoir really well. The way they're, as you know, that the Gardevoir attack kind of bubbles out, kind of in a path. Well, when you can have abilities to either lock players down or push them into that path, like Mamoswine or Snorlax, that tends to produce some pretty good results. And a team like TTV, they operate pretty well together in that sense.
Very, very true. All right, Glaceon is being selected as well as Eldegoss. Man, I'm having a tough time actually clicking on the right Pokemon these days. And we only have one more selection to come in from TTV. Snorlax on the side of Ender, I assume. Gardevoir being held by Lutano. Lucario could swing back in this
Hmm.
team composition. It seems like a pretty good option to have. I like the Eldegoss pick as the final one here for XiS. It just makes it a bit tougher for TTV to go into a more supportive angle, but I don't think you want to count on just the Mew and Gardevoir, and they are not. Lucario is going to be the selection, the final selection for the side of TTV.
Yeah, She's has a lot of big bodies to work through, and TTV has some very high octane attackers sitting behind those bodies. I'm looking at She's composition. It's not one that we're unfamiliar with by any means. These are Pokemon they've chosen before. I'm just looking at the composition they're squaring into, and I just think it's going to be a little bit of a tough nut for them to crack. So She's is definitely going to have to use their communication and their schmovement around this map, specifically leaning hard on the Dodrio to get into that back line and take care, almost like bursting it from the inside out, right? Like almost deal with the Mamoswine and Snorlax last because it's so important to get to the Gardevoir and Mew.
Yeah, very, very true. Um, yeah, you're right. That displacement that they're going to have is very, very strong. Getting to that point is going to be a tough thing to accomplish. Let's see how these teams want to build these Pokemon in terms of held items as I get these score lines all sorted out.
Yep. So, I mean, no surprises on She's side of the board. Fob, a great Azumarill player, and going to be leaned on heavily by the She's squad to make sure that they are making a difference and able to get into the face of the backline players. Of course, on TTV, you mentioned Ender on Snorlax because Zugrug's Mamo is looking pretty sweet, and Ender Snorlax is nothing to scoff at either. Otter picking up that first pick Mew. They chose it specifically for them. Of course, they're going to strap up with it. And then Lutano on Gardevoir, Retsu on Lucario, who's throwing us into some days of old with that Lucario pup action.
TTV is really presenting a challenge to every single team they have, and it said, can you out-secure me even once? And XiS is the next member to go up to the plate here. Drain Crown Azumarill is here again. I'm just gonna say it. If it's ever relevant, I'm gonna scream. So watch out for Valve doing that. Also, shout out to Valve for being the festive holiday wearer here. 'Tis the season and all that, you know?
Yeah, definitely playing into the theme. We've got a Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2 finals without a doubt. Kudos to Fob for making it happen for us and the folks at home, of course. But the real prize is what they get if they win this best of 3 against TTV.
Yep, so Grug's got those sick beats by whomever. I don't know who the Dr. Dre equivalent is in the Pokemon world, but whoever they are made a sick headset for that Mamoswine. So I gotta get a piece of that action for sure. That's on my wish list for Christmas, actually.
Is it really? Okay, good to know. Good to know. I won't get it for you, but
okay.
that's because all the extra money I have is going into this tournament scene. So holla.
Very, very true. Ender already on this invasion strategy, but is going up against 3 members of XiS. Obviously, they knew this was coming, and they're going to try to shut down this Snorlax. That being said, it's not an easy task. That HP pool is large and in charge as Ender now procs Focus Band and is able to get all the way back to their side.
Lel finally giving up that venture here, peeling back into the top path. Is XiS just going to try and make a dent into Retsu's armor here in tandem with Foul? They got a real chance at it. Can Retsu sustain? They can't. And it's the Gossifleur of all Pokemon that comes in with an auto attack, getting it done for the squad as she scores some points, gets some stacks going, and they peel back. Ender looking for a target here, but Fob going to be able to score and very high potential of getting. Oh, never mind. Lutano coming in and collapsing on them. They're trying to make it happen. No way, come on. The Drain Crown tilting to the side, looking a little good here. Like shades of Notorious B.I.G. with the tilted crown on the forehead, getting it done for the squad.
The Notorious B.I.G. Hollowware when for Azumarill. Oh my gosh, I would shell out an unreasonable amount of money for that one. Psyshock is great placement there, able to net both players, but a knockout onto the Lucario is too much. Lutano tries to get them, but the Psyshock goes the wrong direction. Great deeks there by Lel.
Yeah, I didn't know an Eldegoss had shoulders that wide because they hard carried Falb out of there to get them to retreat in the face of Lutano and Retsu. Great play by Lel and exactly what you expect out of top level supports. They're earning their stripes today.
Hyper support focus too, right? We have a Mr. Mime and an Eldegoss, but the Eldegoss is even going Pollen Puff, I believe. I don't think they're going Leaf Tornado, at least from what I could see. So just all in on the heal action. Zucro takes so much damage, but again, this double defender composition is built to do just that.
Yeah, Mazo's going to have a little bit of a free reign in the middle here. Heavy Slam comes through from Ender. Giesen comes in for the cleanup job. And Lel going to get some as well as Mazo. Not worse for wear. Going to run up. Giesen picking up the berry. And they're going to see if they can make moves here as Lutano susses out Lel. But Giesen kind of almost backdoors Lutano. Forces the awkward retreat out of them. Retsu's chunked only level 5 Zoinks.
Yeah, well, Ucaster blessed him to 6. But the major thing, Azumarill being at 8 already. This top out. Oh my gosh, that was a Unite move from downtown. Falb getting the chase down. Aqua's Hail onto Lutano was a lot of damage for them to deal with. Again, another big Psyshock dodge. Only gets hit by 2 instances. That third instance would have been a tough thing to deal with. Retsu gets knocked out by Falb. Again, this attack weight has got to be close to, if not already fully stacked. And the goal zone brought down to a sliver of HP. A break from the Glaceon incoming. And we are going to have a Regieleki threat being put online for the side of XiS.
Yeah, that push by the Azumarill Falb may looked a little weird because they were so low on HP, but actually what they were doing is they're screening Lutano and forcing Lutano to take care of them so that they could close out that goal zone with the Regieleki opportunity to go to that tier 2. And it looks like XiS is really putting the priority on that Regieleki. Astato's going to come in for the big time steal, see if they can get it done. No, just a bit shy as Otter seals it up for TTV. Mazo's low. Are they going to be able to get out of this? I don't think so. But the rest of XiS is working on this Regieleki, and they've got it pretty much for free.
Yeah, only showing attention towards that top Lecky. Shato seems to be the only one that ever got an invitation towards the basement Reggie at all, but not securing it, no real surprise there into Lucario, a Gardevoir, and Mew. Just too many big secure tools for them. Unite move, though, keeps them up in this fight. Foul being supported by the Eldegoss, Drain Crown popping off in absolutely incredible ways. Foul heals through everything and sustains the damage.
Mew Unite comes out, they're hidden for a moment, dealing some damage through out of that smoke, and they're trying to find a way to catch some receipts on that. They Electro Ball into Falb and Lel, catching both of them, but here comes Lutano just chipping the Psyshocks in, trying to make it happen. Boosted auto on Falb chunks them, and a push forward by Zugra gonna try and buy some time. TTV collapsing on Falb. Lel says, I can't pick you up out of that one, Chief. That's way too much firepower. Lel peeling back to the berries. Giesen gonna try and do the defense. That's a big block, and a huge block. Keep them off the berry, and now they're just feeding them into Lutano's damage here, and they're absolutely crushing the XiS squad, and now they're sieging this goal zone with a big time overdunk.
Nice overdunk for TTV. That final 38 score from Retsu. Almost said Lutano, of course. From Retsu is a big play, putting them up into sorry about that. For a pretty close scoreline, 136 and 126. Only 10 AOS energy differentiate these teams so far, and the experience is going pretty decently inside of TTV. Hitting that level 11 breakpoint for Lutano is big, but Giesen is knocking on the door of that point as well.
Yeah, and look at XiS. They're kind of doing that split push we've seen before. They're all over this goal zone. They're trying to make it happen. Forces out the Eldegoss Unite. They're trying to track down onto Mazo to give some HP boost, and they do. Ender's on their retreat. Eldegoss is buying time. Giesen's just trying to get out, and they're throwing tons of stuff at them is TTV, because they're just bullying this team back, which is letting them get another basement Reggie for the low, low price of nothing.
Yeah, I think it was honestly an early investment. Getting instead of nothing, getting that Eldegoss Unite move really made it so that XiS had no chance at that bottom Reggie. Maybe if they had that one, they could try to take the refight, but with no berries to retreat to, no goal zone to get healing from, and no Eldegoss Unite, it was an unwinnable battle.
Salto kind of moving around, able to sustain in the face of Retsu that was kind of all over them. Now Giesen's getting some KOs back the other way. Tons of damage. KO streak of 2 Enders, the next one on the chopping block. Can they collapse on them? Giesen wants it. They're going to dart forward. They're going to throw all the icicles into the chest of that Snorlax, turn into a absolute voodoo doll. Let's see if they can get just get it done with the last one. No, it hits the goal zone, gets that buff, gets that defense, and now XiS is forced to retreat.
Yeah, retreating back. Defense of the goal zone has been given up to Zugrug, the stalwart defender. Now has auto to join them. A little bit of a coaching shield, if you forgot what that move was called, because I almost did. Mew coaching Surf or coaching Electro Ball is always a really nice mechanic in these early fights, especially when there's Pokemon that are trying to escape your reign from the Mew. Big knockout onto Dodrio. Another good call out from Lutano as they cruise toward this bottom path to try to siege.
Yeah, this Mammoth is really working great in tandem with Gardevoir, and they're doing tons of damage, tons of work, and now they're collapsing on Falb, and they're going to get them for free here as the Mammoth gets credit. But in the meantime, XiS is trying to push this Regieleki in. Retsu's going to try and take care of it. A big-time solar beam through the screen, going to deal some damage as XiS is scampering to other places on the map.
Mazo looking to find their next target. Lel, the one trying to call it out for them as they play ahead for a little bit of information. Salto also hidden away is going to be a good source of intel. Lutano caught out, takes about half their HP bar from Mr. Mindflank, but the solar beam backup is nothing to write home about. Great play there from Otter to try to create some space and good damage.
Yeah, Ender with the heavy slam buys some time, and the solar beam coverage as well allows Lutano to get out. But that was a good little cheeky move by Soto to put him put the pressure onto the strongest attacker TTV has, actually able to get a leash onto that Gardevoir and chunk them with heavy damage.
Now, right now, the worst thing that XiS could do is stack up together as a squadron. You're going to want to with Eldegoss, but right now the double defender composition locks down that crowd control into those big AoEs. It's going to be too much for them to deal with. The other side, TTV is going to want to create some space, allow Retsu to get in position and get close to that Rayquaza and block any back caps. Mazo is sussed out. The defense is 3-on-1 in that top path as Salto tries to create some space in the mid.
Yeah, I'm looking for a big-time engage with the Gardevoir and Snorlax Unite in tandem, right? Have the big Gardevoir Unite drag everybody into that black hole, and then the Snorlax Unite just flop around. And, the Unite move doesn't cut them off. They get 94 points, and 220 to 190 is TTV up here, but that allows XiS to go trying for the backdoor. Mime Unite comes out, plus 24 points. Giesen's on the retreat. That's a Mammothswine Unite that tries to catch the Eldegoss. It does. Forces out the big Cotton Crash, and they come through with the save there on Giesen. TTV holding it up, 2 players down for XiS, and they're starting to rip. Zugrug peeling back. Otter's buying tons of space with that solar beam, but they're all over this Rayquaza. But Zugrug is so low. Retsu's at half, so is Otter. Mazo has an opportunity here to make some miracle plays, but it's Gardevoir stealing up Lutano, and there's just collateral damage here. That Dodrio couldn't hold up to a stiff wind, and they're going to try and make some plays here, but I don't think they've got it in them. Sato's getting chipped up. They're getting blocked back, and TTV's really in the driver's seat here. They're down on the scoreboard, but not for long. Buckets are going in. We call them ducats when it's under 20 minutes. TTV taking game one.
Incredible game from them. The Eldegoss not landing to save the Azumarill. You save the Glaceon, but just not in time to save that big melee damage that you had on your squadron. TTV with a really nice start to this game, playing around their composition extremely well.
Without a doubt, and TTV getting it done, really fighting front to back, and we can see the strength of Gardevoir and why Lutano keeps going to it over and over again. It is doing tons of work out here against these teams, and it really feels like TTV has sorted out how to combat the Dodrio strategy.
Oh, yeah, they've had some great answers. I like the double defender, especially when it's supporting a Lucario in such a way, and you haven't had to worry about that Dodrio onslaught that we've been mentioning before, so great call out, Dupe Snacks. A great read from TTV. They start this one off well early. Certainly a better start than their last matchup. Let's see if they can keep this one going. We're going to head straight back to the draft screen because why not? TTV up 1-0. Now XiS is going to have the same choice again, first or second ban.
I think first ban is still where you want to be. I'd like to see XiS switch up their strategy a little bit. And honestly, Sato's Mr. Mime, very clean, but get them the Mamoswine.
Yes, get them the Mamoswine for sure. Man, I really did. I thought Zugrug's Mamo was looking very, very good actually tonight. But yes, you need that in the hands of TTV if you're going to be, or if you need them in the hands of XiS if you're really going to be popping off.
Oh, I agree. It's obviously, it's one of those things, right? Is it the most highlight reel character on the screen? Majority of the time, no. But what it facilitates for the team is what's important. And if you can't let people like Mazo off the leash to go run roughshod across the other team because you don't have those engage tools, you don't have those protection tools, you don't have those spacing tools, then it really just crumbles all around you. And then, you can say the Mamoswine played fine, but its numbers are still going to reflect the same as if it was doing awesome. But if it's not on point, then nothing happens. So if I'm XiS, I'm looking to get the Mamoswine back in Sato's hands.
Yeah, you gotta start letting numbers. The opposite. You gotta not let numbers get into your head when you're playing around in the defender pool, because yeah, you're right. An amazing game will look very similar to a fine or even subpar game. So you gotta watch out for that. Do not get caught in that trap, folks. Do not get caught in it.
All right, we're back at the draft screen, but it ain't picking. That's what's important.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting on them. They're working on it. They are getting it. Yes. Oh, shocker. It's Blissey. But yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why this stage is taking so long for these teams. They've done the same thing every single time.
Yeah. Well, they are running it back. Don't worry. Sometimes they just need the kick at the pants, and that's what I deliver here at Unite Bikes. All right. But okay, we have a Sableye ban and Blissey ban. Great. We got that out of the way. Let's get the draft started.
Well, it looks like XiS might just take Dodrio again. But like I said, in the face of TTV, maybe they'll take Zarina?
No, the Mamoswine. I think you're right. I mean, this seriously has been a cornerstone of XiS's success in multiple situations, multiple team compositions. They've built around the Mamo in different ways before. They're gonna need to do it again now because TTV is gonna have their option. Of course, they are going to get the Mew and the Dodrio now. A absolutely busted pair.
Oh, yeah. Everybody in the Guac Bowl loves to see Lutano's Dodrio play, and so do we here at the Unite Mics, of course. Otter's not going to give up a Mew opportunity if they have it. they had their fun with A9 over the last couple days, and they're
True.
saying it's Mew time, baby. There's a lot of I'm seeing that GoFundMe prize pool go up. We're trying to get some wins. Give me Mew. Let's guarantee those things. XiS gets 2 picks on the hop.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, shout out prize pool, exclamation mark prize pool if you want to donate. And this is what the teams are playing for right now. So if you want to donate and make the prize a little more exciting, that's the place to do it. Check out that GoFundMe link. Dodrio and Mew, I don't think there's really anything to discuss too much other than this is just a really powerful 2 Pokemon. They're not really going to synergize exceptionally well. They're not even going to play on same ends of the map, but they are going to provide pressure wherever they do arise. Snorlax and Glaceon, the next 2 picks for the side of XiS.
Glaceon's great. You've mentioned before it does very strong in the face of a Dodrio. Allows you to kind of keep on top of it. And Snorlax does a similar role. Like we saw it happen, right? When Mazda went in the middle with Dodrio, just one pointed heavy slam onto the Dodrio, stunning it up, and the rest of the team was there to easily take care of it.
Yeah, incredible plays there. Now, XiS is moving towards the double defender composition this time, whereas last time that was TTV. TTV went really hard on the double defender strategy, giving up any kind of, in quotation marks, supportive Pokemon. You know, Mr. Mime technically it could be the defender or support if you really want to think about it that way, but still, the double defender strategy is going to be a new look for XiS in this match specifically. That being said, we have seen them play this style of composition time and time again before.
That's without a doubt. Now, TTV has some good options here. They have some good options here. When you're looking at what those, I mean, they might go Hoopa, for example. Indy has tons of reps on that. They might take the Eldegoss from themselves. If you're looking at Zugrug, there you go. You know, Zugrug has one of the most aggressive Wigglytuffs you'll find on Eos Island that I just love watching. So they actually tailor up a Mr. Mime. Makes tons of sense here. And can really get on top of a Mew, can really help with the Dodrio, and, you know, just plays that hard support role if they really wanted to.
I think Mime is also an incredible lane matchup for Mamoswine early. So Mime just really wins that one every single time. Mamoswine's got some great early game tools, but it would rather contest against a non-tanky Pokemon and scare them away with the little Icy Stuns, Ice Shard, Tackle, all these big moves that can really set up a damage carry to find a knockout. When you're going up against a Mr. Mime, that option doesn't really exist for you, and you can get locked up in their own stuns. And Mamoswine, when playing from behind, is a tragedy to watch. So Salto is going to have their work cut out for them to try to out-contest the Mr. Mime in these early moments of this game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Salto stays with the stacking build or if decides to kind of turtle up a little bit, throw a little bit more thick skin on top of that Mamoswine, and go with like a more true defender build, as we would call it, with some of those different held items.
Yeah, that is true. How you build a tank actually can be a pretty interesting decision, especially because ever since the Score Shield nerf, I think the 3rd tank item has constantly been in flux. That's sort of how you want to play your entire team composition. Do you want to lean into the double experience share? Do you want to pull a Faz and equip a leftovers? You know, you have a few options. Wow, she's actually shaking it up quite a bit with their final selections. Lucario has been selected as well as the Aegislash. XiS has found some options to last hit an objective with.
Okay, so that means TTV is going to have the range here because Mew certainly outranges Glaceon. And the question is, because TTV, maybe I'm seeing a Slowbro here. I don't know. No, not a Slowbro. No. We're not going that route.
D-Knight?
Yeah, D-Knight would be good.
Or Gardevoir. I mean, I think you could realistically just...
Or a Azumarill. Yeah. You could go like a Azumarill in the hands of Retsu, too.
Oh, right. Yeah. We're looking at Retsu's picks, right? Because Dodrio is already secured up by Lutano. Interesting. Okay, yeah, you have a few options. They are going to pick Gardevoir. Okay. So I was saying this is decent. I believe this means that Retsu's either taking up the Gardevoir mantle or moving over towards the Dodrio. Both fine options. We know that Retsu has played so many roles for this team. They were on the Central Area job for quite some time before Lutano kind of picked up the resident Gardevoir duties. So interested to see how they want to play this one out. But this is the final draft for game number 2 of this reminder best of 3. TTV sitting at match point right now in our finals.
Oh yeah, TTV doesn't want to leave anything up to chance. They want to sort it out right now. And they've brought some tools to the game that they have a lot of reps on. At least if you're looking across the board and you see Dodrio, Lutano, ton of reps. Mew, Otter, ton of reps. Eldegoss, Ender, ton of reps. Mr. Mime was a cornerstone for a bit. You know, Zugrug's got some miles on that. And then Retsu, you know, who knows? They've flexed. They've gone from literally top path player, central area, support, back to top path player for many high octane, high level teams. So I'm pretty sure, like I've said before, you could put ham sandwich in their hands and they're out there making moves on Eos Island. So not a big deal.
All right, Yokohama, we're giving every caster a ham sandwich, and that is going to be the battle royale that we enter into for a content piece.
Okay, everybody's gonna get a Subway party sub, like one of those 5 foot long party subs. Just ham and cheese, that's it. And we're gonna do it like a American Gladiators, you know, like the Q-tip fight on top of the pedestal. That's what we're gonna be doing, but it's gonna be with ham sandwiches.
Oh, I love that. Hopefully there's Subway in Japan, otherwise this entire thing breaks down. We'll have to see. Thea Sky Ruins is where we're going to this time around. Zugrug putting the stacking spectacles on there. Mr. Mime hoping to have a little bit of extra burst damage on their special attack moves. Never mind. Focus Band is their pick.
The Guac Bowl being devastated right now as Retsu picks up the tri-headed freak in the Dodrio. Going to try and make some moves here. Mazo going with the sword. Going to see if they can slice and dice up some chicken and find their way through and catch themselves a Lutano as well.
I'm excited to see Mazo's sword. Okay, take a look. Retsu. On the Dodrio. 3 heads. 3 distinct personalities. Which one is the most Retsu out of those 3 heads?
Far right, no question.
It's something funny about how we all knew that was exactly the case. All right.
It's the far right, no question.
Yeah, chat saying right too. All right, good. Yes, we're all agreeing Retsu is on the right. You're right, though. Aegis being played by Baby Mazo is an exciting thing to see, and Lel is off of their constant support play and is now going over to the experience share support of Snorlax. Lel doing a bit of an Ender impersonation here in game number 2. Let's see if they want to play it the same way. They're already hitting at the top path, which leads me to believe they're going to be rotating into that central area. Why is he bringing Dojo to top path? What? Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's for the quick experience and then an invade. We'll see.
Sure.
Lel going to try and cut that off, but in the face of Falb and Lel, they might have a difficult time. Very unique strategy here as Ender helps the Ralts clear there and get some of that experience. They're peeling up. They're going to see if they can cut off Falb. Falb's getting into the skirmish with the Gossifleur. Gossifleur trying to hold it down. Retsu dives on it. Those points are going in too easy. Lel going to be able to hold it down. A big belly block, making sure that Falb can get out. Retsu can try and chase, but I think that's a fruitless endeavor. As Falb's just scampering around, they're going to take this Bunnelby and they're going to go try and score again. Can they get it? No. Retsu seals it up, but now Falb is getting low. They don't have the score to help boost their HP. Lel's getting chipped as well, and the Gossifleur gets the KO as Gizen pulls up. Let's see if they can get themselves an Ender to pay them back.
Unfortunate auto target goes on a Retsu instead of Ender there. Gizen probably raging at their controller right now. If I didn't make my best guess, they just wanted Red Buff to be present in the top path to try to find a knockout on Lucario. Ralts isn't going to be going into that top path, so you may as well give it to the Pokemon that will make that rotation. Ooh, great coaching play there from Otter to jump that shield onto Zugrug, give a bit of support, and makes it away from Soto's clutches.
Yeah, now Soto getting smothered here in short order. We see the harp strings getting plucked because they were straight plucked off the planet and sent back to the Pokemon Center. Salto going to make it down the path, but TTV keeping some pretty good pressure in this one. I'm looking at the levels, and they're about even.
Yeah, about even scoreline, incredibly close as well. 2 members from TTV are trying to cut down Lel, who's on that invade Snorlax at the moment, but I believe they are having a tough time of it. Baby Mazo at level 5 has found the Doublade evolution, and Zugrug goes down so low again, but again, with these tanky Pokemon, actually closing the gap is going to be so important. Salto tries for a Hail Mary play, does not work out for them, and now Mazo is left alone to defend the school zone.
It's amazing how TTV is approaching these fights. Lutano was literally just sitting in the grass waiting for the squad to reel, and once they were peeling down to get away from Otter, Lutano just stepped out and just shelled tons of damage in. A little Exacto knife revenge happening there for Mazo as they get a KO, but they are sent packing right back the other way by Retsu, and TTV and XiS are literally tied 76-76. This one's close.
Yeah, knocking on the door of 7 minutes now, 7:20 left in the game. Extremely close game, tied in terms of scoreline. Both teams have showed a lot of presence towards that basement Reggie as their main focus, which is interesting because I think XiS in the past has really favored the Regieleki early scoring strategy. They might take that now, though. Mazo caught out in a tough way. Big barrier play from Zugrug, which is also going to be a fun tech to watch play out. Stops them in place and gets a big knockout.
Yeah, good little retreat by Lel. Lucario Falb holding it down in the face of Ender up top, but they're still getting tons of points, and Mew comes in with the Unite. They're pushing far forward. TTV making it happen, and Glaceon dodging the big solar beam with their own Unite move. They're going to see if they can put pressure on back the other way. Southtown gets KO'd. They were caught in between four, and that's four sides in the wrong box as they get buckled, and E-Speed resets are happening. They get 2 KOs. Can they get 3? Did they find a third? That's the big question mark. Can they? Bone Rush comes out, and they're going to see if they can dart through Ender. No, the Regirock is starting to get chipped away, but it's TTV that's getting the advantage here as XiS is getting shredded by the Regirock in tandem with the Gardevoir, and those E-Speeds tried to catch reset, but they got reset right back to the Pokemon Center. As here we go, the Snorlax is sleeping, but they're not long for this world. Retsu's on the chase. Ender peels back to the Regirock, and Lutano's looking to sort that out. Mew snaking it out from under the Dodrio. Retsu can't be happy about that.
Mazo wasn't even able to secure the last hit onto the Regieleki in the top path, thanks to Zugrug providing a little bit of spoiler up there. Lutano with 40 would love to score this, but Falb is going to return for the defense on the bottom path. Unite move won't even be enough to keep them up as Retsu Unite right back in their face. Gets a big knockout, and XiS is now the only member able to try to shut down this Dodrio.
Yeah, she's doing incredibly well at keeping the score at parity despite now kind of falling behind on the experience lead. TTV with a couple Unite moves able to throw into the face of XiS. XiS only has 3 for themselves here. So TTV definitely has the advantage there, but they're keeping the scoreline close. XiS is amazing as doing split pushes, covering, and defending, while simultaneously, sometimes falling behind in experience.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a price you have to pay. XiS just takes so much damage after Otter landing that Unite move in the end. Finally, a goal zone break, though. A little bit of a silver lining for the side of XiS, knocking out Zugrug as well. And now that tier 2 is broken open, and Regieleki is still hanging out in that top path, just loitering as long as it can.
She's going to try and make it happen. Look where Falb is playing. That's so they can engage through as TTV peels up. But they might actually just be looking to catch this Regieleki. Not even contest. Not getting into a weird fight in the wrong spot here. Just sit on their own goal pad, catch it, see if XiS gets a little too foolish, pushes too hard, and they can unleash their Unite moves, guarantee themselves a stop and a couple KOs. But who else but Southtown trying to do the solo job? James Bond going undercover trying to make this thing happen. But I don't think it's going to happen today, Chief.
I actually would have loved XiS to push with that one, thanks to the double defender composition. You can push in, and then worst comes to worst, you get knocked out, but you probably bait out a Guardi Unite, an Eldegoss Unite. I think it would have been a big swing. On the other hand, Southtown getting a Unite move of their own, tries to knock out the Mew, but a Surf play from Otter is going to move around, shmove, and find the knockout. Some goals are going to start raining in the bottom path, but it is going to be a lot going in the top path as well for TTV.
And that's what's amazing about how XiS pushes both sides of the map, and Southtown's utility in this ability. They stay up for so long in the face of so many players on the other team, wasting so much time that allowed XiS to push that bottom goal zone and break another one, which is just a great look. Now they're trying to hunt down this Eldegoss who uses their Cotton Crash mainly as an escape tool. Falb is on the chase. Boosted Auto comes through, but is mitigated by Falb darting back towards Otter. Otter uses their Unite move, is on the pushing the pressure on Lel. Big time block by space. They're really just wanting Falb to get out of there at this point.
Yeah, I love watching good support and tank players take body blocks on Mew boosted autos. It just makes me so happy. It's such a technical, very smart way to play the game. It's a great shutdown. Lutano Unite move used here at 3 minutes. They're going to come away with 2 knockouts. Pretty short respawn timers for both teams, though. This Regieleki fight is about to happen, and TTV better get it, or else that is a lot of investment for not too much gain.
Going ahead and score a good block to protect that goal zone. Again, she's just doing so good at split pushing, maintaining their goal zones, and now still have a point lead despite, as we look at these levels, being behind. XiS has a very unique approach to this game, but it's clearly working for them as they're able to maintain some level of parity here in the face of what is becoming a very scaled up TTV squad.
God, Otter's timing on light screen there, mid-cast a solar beam to block Lel's heavy slam. I was talking about the technical prowess of this player, and I really think it's true. XiS with already half the HP bar of Regieleki worked down, but TTV has arrived. Salto caught out to take a full solar beam damage. Focus Band does proc. They're not going to have that for the final team fight. They might want that back, but 13 seconds left. I think Regieleki is not going to be knocked out before the final stretch.
Not going to be knocked out behind between the final stretch here, but TTV can take a good team fight and slay this thing into their hands. Just a Rayquaza sits between them and winning Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2. Here we go.
She's looking to play spoiler though. Level 13 Aegislash is definitely a strong Pokemon in contention for that one. Dodrio hanging around the top path. Baby Mazo may not have eyes on them, but is still playing that defensive play around that goal zone. Lel with an engage. Dugro takes about half HP, but does bail and immediately starts basing.
There you go. Boosted auto comes through, chunks Retsu. Retsu's going to see if they can make it out. The Wygar comes out too early. Can they get the boosted auto no back? No. Is that with the Unite move coming out for Retsu to try to escape there? That's not a bad expenditure there for XiS. They've got to be happy about that, and you have to give them credit. This is what they do. Great team fights.
Yeah, it's just one more secure tool down, though, from the side of XiS. Big Unite move from the Snorlax to try to keep themselves up and sustained.
Yeah, and then the solar beam comes through, and they're going to try and chunk Lel. Falba's getting low as well, but Zugro caught in the backside of nowhere. If they can convert on them, they got a chance. Otter's collapsing. Huge block forces out Ender and Otter, but right into the hands of the rest of the squad. And look at Zugrug. They made it out, and it's just Salta that went down. Otter coming through. They get KO. Gizen trying to feel it. They're trying to find another. Ender is still at full HP. Gizen's low. Can they escape? They come through. Here comes the Cotton Crash. The Aegislash gets KO streaks of 2. They're in the middle doing the Lord's work here as Ender has to try and goes back and do something here. Are they going to go straight to score? Lel's trying to make it happen. They don't have enough damage on this Rayquaza, but XiS is up. XiS is up. The Mamoswine is back now to play some defense. If they can buy enough time for Gizen to get back in the mix, they got a real shot here.
We're just going to be looking at another honest refight in this position. As, right now, TTV is not in a good position to rip this Ray, but they're in a worse position to backcap. So that's going to lead them only one option. Rayquaza is going to be the main target. Malzo trying to play spoiler. Sato with a great forward position.
Yeah, here we go. Lucario's scoring up top. This Rayquaza is getting down real low. 9 seconds. Doesn't even matter. Can Lucario get a couple extra points in? 56. That's a good chunk of change, my friend. As that is Retsu using the Unite move. Oh, did any of the scores go in? Plus 50? Are you kidding me?
And Zug scored in bottom path on the Mr. Mime. The Guardy secure on Rayquaza. The clutches of clutch. Guac Bowl enjoyers are blessed on this evening. Lutano with an amazing play in the central area. But it's not enough. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? 4-point differential. That 54 points that Lucario Fob went and scored was the difference maker. That was the difference maker.
Gosh.
Are you kidding me? That it doesn't get closer than that. XiS and TTV are going to Game 3 at Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2 Finals. Zoinks, if you give us a script to write, we can't write it out better than this.
The clutchest of clutch plays was out-clutched by the Clutch King themselves. Falb on the Lucario. The back cap was enough. Just trust, friends, as I rush to this one. A Lucario gets out-secured. The E-speed play was definitely a gamble, but in the end, she keeps this one going. We are headed to game number 3. Oh my word, I cannot wait.
Zugrug, Ender, and Lutano must be in cold sweats, getting flashbacks from the regional finals last year as they lose by a margin of less than 10. And now what they have to do here, that wasn't game 3 like it was last time. They have an opportunity to shake it off and make something happen here. And you can't get upset by how you played, but you have to respect XiS's ability to fight from behind. You have to do it because they've executed on not only against them TTV twice now, but they've also done it in tournaments before. So what TTV needs to do is find a better execution plan in the last 2 minutes. You have to find a way to leverage that experience advantage. That's what I'm looking for here because they've got it pretty much from the 10-minute mark to the 2-minute mark. And for some reason, those last 2 minutes just seem to always like fall through their fingers like sand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's such a tough one. A clutch sick here. Honestly, if one more Dodrio dunk goes in of the 3 dunks, they win that game. That is the narrowest of margins. Absolutely absurd. Well, we're kicking things off. Business as usual. Blissey band, Sableye band. Let's get into the good stuff here next.
Yeah, let's see where TTV goes. They get the first pick here, which of course is nice. And it's also nice that they kind of know where the bands are going to go so they can pre-plan for that. So TTV has some pretty solid options. Are they going to go for the Mew here? I don't think so, because I don't really think it's on XiS's radar. I
Sure.
could be wrong, though. I haven't seen XiS play a Mew in the last 4 weeks, so that's
So much
kind of what
Glaceon.
raises my eyebrow.
Right, just so much Glaceon play from that team, so I would not see that going away. Dodrio is the selection, though. I think it's a great Pokemon. It's popping off all over the place. Get this You have multiple players who can play it, clearly. Retsu was playing a pretty solid Dodrio. Lutano has really seemed like mastered this Pokemon, so a solid first power pick of a damaging Pokemon.
Yeah, now XiS is going to get Mamoswine and whatever else they want here.
That is true. Can we fire up a game 3 prediction as well, Dupes Max?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me terminate the other one.
We got gamblers in our chat, my friend. We got gamblers in our chat. Channel points need to be thrown. Yeah, Dodrio being selected by TTV. Obviously, not too much of a shakeup since they've been playing that Pokemon just last game, as we witnessed. XiS, on the other hand, I have to assume they're going for Mamoswine, 1, and then we'll figure it out after that. I think is if you're getting Mamoswine away from TTV, you just need to take it. Southside didn't seem to have as much of an impact in that last game, but I still think it's a Pokemon that you want within your own arsenal.
I definitely agree. I think it was less around Southside themselves and more who you got. And it was, I think it was less around Southside themselves, more around how well TTV played into it, specifically with the Mew going in path against it, which is really tough. It's really tough in the face of a Swinub trying to level up. And they really just couldn't turn the corner, to be quite honest.
True. This is crazy. She takes the Mew and the Snorlax for their first 2 picks. Just absolutely hate drafting TTV this early. I love the energy. I really do. We are going to steal away both Otter and Zugrug's signature picks. TTV in shambles. Alolan Ninetales being selected probably. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe an A9, but definitely Mamoswine, because I think Zug's going to be happy to see that one.
I mean, you also just can't allow XiS to get Snorlax and Mamoswine that easily, I think, is another thing that they would need to factor in. So, Mamoswine, I could even see a Mime to back it up. I don't know if I like it, but you definitely could see it. Mamoswine and Mime. I just don't really know who. I guess Ender would probably end up playing the Mime. Don't love it, but I guess we will see TTV thinking pretty hard about these next 2 picks.
Yeah, a Glaceon's not a bad look, just to insulate your own Dodrio. Not sure if that's worth the investment this early, but we do know XiS is going to be happy to pick that up if it's available. Looking down the well here, Mamoswine, I like that. I like that. Zug's got to be okay. So if you're gonna cut us off from some pocket picks, we'll choose some other ones. Eldegoss in Ender's hands is a very seasoned veteran with that Pokemon. And of course, we've seen Zugrug choose Mamoswine early anyways, because it's just one of the most stout defenders out there. So here you go.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a good job. Ice Lane in chat. Oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. All right, XiS is gonna respond with a Mr. Mime and a Glaceon pick. They are getting not every Pokemon they've ever wanted, but definitely getting some of their signature picks. I like the Glaceon on the side of XiS a lot. Where is it?
Yeah, TTV is gonna be going maybe Lucario A9. Lucario A9. Why not?
Oh boy, yeah. I almost want to think like just put Retsu on the Dodrio again and go Gardevoir A9 against this. I think I like it a little bit more. I don't know. The Gardevoir Unite moves are extremely strong. Extremely strong. But I don't know how well they play into Snorlax Mr. Mime. That being said, Snorlax and Mr. Mime end up taking a lot of damage from Psyshock because of their low mobility. Well, you were correct. I was wrong. Lucario, Alolan Ninetales are the last
There
two
you
selections
go.
for TTV. Yes, your brain is wrinklier. We all get it.
Yeah, so what this says to me is that when you're choosing the Dodrio first, not that I'm Retsu's inexperienced with Dodrio by any means, of course,
Sure.
but that's like your central area player saying, give me this pick. Like, give it to me now. This is what I'm going to use to carry us through the finish line. And when somebody makes a call like that, you give them that Pokemon, and especially when you know Retsu has about 14 other Pokemon in pocket that they can play at like an S tier level, then you go ahead and you feed your Lutano all the guac they want. You give them the Dodrio 3 heads worth, and you let Retsu sort it out on Lucario like they've been doing all night long.
Yes, sir. Could not agree more. XiS, get one more pick. How do you stop TTV? How do you prevent the power-up punch secures coming in from Lucario? How do you deal with the surprisingly bulky stats of Ninetales? Well, there's one way to do it, and that's the ultimate 1v5 Pokemon. Baby Mazo's own Serena is the final pick.
That's a good one. That's a good,
That's a
comfortable
good
pick for them,
pick.
and it's a good way to get in the face
Oh,
of
never
something like.
mind. I am sorry. It is Azumarill. Okay. I don't know.
So Mew is going in Mazo's hands, of course, and we'll have this Azumarill in the hands of Falb. Nice little bait and switch there, Chief.
Okay. I need to add like okay. Okay. Wait. For sure Azu. Okay. Yeah, I think it is. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, okay. It is for sure Azumarill. I just had to like double check. These teams are memeing on me. But anyway, this is the composition you are going to see head into our finals. Season 2, finals night, grand finals, best of 3 has gone the distance. We are going to our final matchup between XiS from Brazil versus TTV. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. This is game 3. This is for all the marbles, the whole kit and caboodle. Let's see if we can sort this out real quick.
You said it's for all the marbles. It is also for a grand total prize of $445 as well. So prize pool has been ever growing over the evening. Thank you so much to everyone who typed in !prize pool and jumped in to help fund this tournament. I'm very excited. The teams are going to be even more so. Let's see who takes it all home.
Oh, and the items might make a difference here, so let's keep an eye out for those. Let's see if we can do a quick scan for anything that pops out. A lot of comfortable picks here. We're double stacking. Lutano is not only carrying the weights, but he's carrying the cookies. So here we go. We stacking up. We getting buff out here. Look at all the glasses on Mazo. Holy smokes.
I like it. I'm a big fan. We have not seen Mazo on Mew as of yet, but the triple glasses is certainly a choice. One that I am very excited to see. Lutano, yeah, you're right. Razor Claw Tech with double cookie. Otter on this kind of iconic Alolan Ninetales build. I don't think we've seen too much from that one, but Muscle Band, Experience Share, Buddy Barrier on Ender's Eldegoss with the X-Speed item. Excited to see how that plays out. I mean, Muscle Band on any of these A button pressers is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, and Eldegoss is one of the ones that carries it the best in the early game, without a doubt, which allows Ender to be a presence even when it's just a Gossifleur before it even hits that level 4 spike.
All right, let's see how this game goes down. Double defender a little bit on the side of XiS, but unless Mr. Mime is playing a more supportive HP style of a build, but with Soto rocking that Pokemon, I can imagine gaining space and protecting their backline is going to be the main focus for that player.
Without a doubt, Ender going back to the central, going to do the same thing as before, I believe, as we're working through. Mazo is cruising, and they're going to be looking to start stacking early because they've got the special glasses on that allow them to do that.
Indeed, indeed. Yes, the damage bursts are going to be strong. You're also going to want to look out for Mazo, pushing for a lot of stacks, as the same as Falb is going to do in the top path. Finds a pretty empty goal zone as Inder, again, grabs that red buff on first rotation and comes to try to put a stop to the Azumarill.
Yeah, they're going to try and get those 5 points in, but they're having a tough time as Retsu and company are all there giving them the static. But they open the door for Lel as Falb is able to peel back and get a berry for themselves. Lel getting chunked and damaged. They're on the chase, though. Falb trying to buy some time for Lel. Lel's going to look for maybe a re-engage on top of the squad, see if they can poach that out from under. No, Retsu takes it, and Lel just taking a nap in front of the squad, which is opening the door for Falb to chuck a bunch of those tails into the face. Finally, Lel goes down. Falb buying just enough time for Giesen to comes in and get in the mix. They get a KO as they fall just inches shy of that berry that would have picked them up and healed them, and more points go in for XiS.
Nice little play there. Oh, he changed the stacking glasses to Shell Bell. Okay, thanks for the call out in chat, by the way. All right, so we don't have the stacking glasses any longer. Shell Bell for the HP support. Good call out there. Zugro getting in some stacks of their own, and Lutano's HP bar and, of course, damage is going to be increasing as well. Again, the infinity fights here on the goal zone are always going to be happening. Aqua's Hail already giving you so much health regen, and Drain Crown on top of that from Falb is just a ridiculous maneuver.
Falb just so many tries to get that 5 AOS energy in for that stack. They finally get it done, and Lutano gets into the face of Lel. Lets Lel actually take a berry and said, you're not going to be long for this one. It's a 3-on-1. Lutano taking that. They're going to peel to the middle to go get those birds as Giesen comes through. A good chunk of damage by Lutano on top of them, but they're going to have the presence and mind to get some of these birds with Otter.
Yeah, a lot of bird experience going over. Man, Giesen with these long-range snipes again and again, finding knockouts, finding wild Pokemon hits. They're really playing this exceptionally well. Wow, a very aggressive push here by XiS early on in this game, going after this jungle rotation. That is what we like to call a 4-player invade. We're from Brazil, folks, and we're going to be showcasing it today.
The patented 4-player invade as the Mr. Mime babysits a goal zone arbitrarily here. Finally, the Piloswine rotates down just so they have a friend down there with the Mr. Mime. Lutano's so low. They're going to go across. They're going to take both berries, trying to get some points, and Lel's trying to score in the meantime as Inder and Retsu are trying to put the pressure back. Lel's getting low, but here comes Otter for the cutoff, and they get the KO. Giesen trying to escape. Lutano darts 3, sorts them out, skewers them. And now TTV is able to get on top of this goal zone. It's just Falb that's between them and getting tons of points. And of course, Dodrio has the opportunity to score in quick fashion, and Retsu just desperately trying to get out. Azu sorting them out though.
TTV with a different strategy here in this game, right? At that 7-minute mark, they are all pushing towards Regieleki. It seems like they've abandoned that strategy ever since Retsu got knocked down, and we have a full rotate down to bottom path with guess who's down there? Just Salto. And it looks like finally Baby Mazo is actually going to give them a little bit of backup they so desperately desire.
Yeah, good little tandem work here. Every time the Dodrio goes in, the Heavy Slam comes out. Excuse me, every time the Azumarill tries to score, Lutano goes in and the Heavy Slam comes out, but Lutano is catching heat. They get the KOs both ways and said, yeah, you might have gone in 17 or whatever, but I'll take 2 KOs, no problem. I'll just score a whole bunch myself. Giesen and Lel waiting for reinforcements. That goal zone is shattered in their face, and TTV thinks they've done enough work. They're peeling back. TTV up 163 to 43. 120 is the gap.
Exceptional early game so far. Lutano hitting that level 9 power spike so early allowed them to win that 1v1. Dodrio unite right in their face and get themselves, and which ended up being a KO streak of 2. So clearing away some space. That means that Regieleki hasn't even been the focus, and you saw that XiS was trying to break that goal zone in the top path as early as possible. Falb just constantly looking for those scores, and now they don't even have an angle as 3 members of TTV have formed up a good defense.
Great defense indeed. XiS is collapsing back on their own goal zone. Like we've said before, their experience is down, but that's not necessarily a point of weakness for XiS as it's seemed to be for other squads here. TTV sitting on their own goal zone. XiS really kind of getting the positional advantage despite being down on those levels. Zoinks.
Meanwhile, Zagrug just putting in a score of 28, which is going to get them the Ancient Mammut Evolution Mamoswine finally ready to go. Falb doing a lot of damage, but their Aurora Veil defense is just a little bit too strong to deal along with the Cotton Card heals. Lucario goes out of the home base, though, and does get knocked out.
Yeah, they're caught in the Triforce of Death as Retsu as they get sorted out very quickly. Zugrug with a huge engage, high horsepower, clips up 3. Salto's going to
Wow.
try and make it out, but they can't. Gizen's on the retreat, and so is Lel. A good little engage by Zugrug to buy some time for the squad. Now it's TTV looking to collapse. Icicle Crash and a big charge forward, stuns up, and they're still working through on that. And they're going to be able to get it. It's Otter sorting it out as the Lutano is coming through and tried to seal it up themselves, but instead get themselves a courtesy Glaceon.
Yeah, actually, Regieleki taking the brunt of that confusion, so Lutano makes it away. Mazo knocked out as well. I love how TTV played that. As soon as the Mew was gone and sent back to base, TTV played extremely tight-knit and together because no one can really do big crowd control or AoE damage, and you can just stack all those defenders' HP pools, Otter's Aura Veil, and all the healing that Eldegoss is going to provide, and that allows you to get a big team fight win. Regieleki goes in, and Lutano gets a 40-point dunk. They are increasing their lead ever more as Retsu actually knocks out a Registeel in the bottom path as well.
Yeah, she's really trying to stem the tide of that Regieleki, but ending up losing way more than they could have ever imagined. So many KOs. They lost the goal zone anyways. Tons of points going in and tons of experience into the hands of TTV. And now I've said you can fight from behind on experience, and she does it very well, better than most. But this is just a hair more than we've been used to seeing, I think.
Sure. Yeah, that is true. I think they're keeping it a little bit in tandem, but you're right. They are playing from behind. Retsu held to level 11, though, I think is the one thing that she's can be really happy about. That Lucario hitting a big power spike is a problem alert if I have ever heard of one. Boosted Auto always finds it marks. Liam Neeson of Muse coming out there from Baby Mazo. Big hit there. Nice knockout.
Yeah, nice knockout and great comeback experience. Of course, the moment I say something, I got to hold my tongue here. It's usually 251 to 110, but she has overcome a gap larger than this. We've seen it happen just last game. She's looking to close the gap on the experience a little bit so they don't have to fight as hard. Come on. Big block and the close combat tries to make it through. They slide through on those Heelys, get to follow up and keep them from scoring. Not a bad look. Lel on the retreat. Ender's looking to chip in some damage, but Retsu's on the chase. They want some action, and now Falb's rolling out there on the backside. Here comes Lutano and just darts through in tandem with Retsu. They get a KO. Boosted Auto comes back the other way, and they're going to see if they can sort it out as Gizen is looking to collapse on top of Zugrog, and Otter susses them out with one little quick shot and forces out. Here we go. Now we're watching the Mazo force out Lutano as they're going to base. So is Retsu. Everybody's going back. Everybody needs HP, and she's didn't get a KO, but they sure sent TTV scrambling.
Yeah, and all that scrambling that you sent them on, all that early damage, means that you don't need to worry about protecting against back caps in the early parts of this game. The only player that could even get within range is going to be Lutano, and you have eyes and you know where they are located. So you can defend around that bottom path. You can all but abandon that top path and not worry about the back cap action. You are playing from behind, though. You got to get some positioning and put yourself in a good position to last hit. Otherwise, you need to threaten some kind of score.
Yeah, Lutano, interestingly enough, giving up their position a little bit right to the Glaceon of all characters. So we're going to see if Gizen looks to pivot. Otter is getting sussed out by Lel. They get chipped up. They're kind of caught on the backside. Big time block sets up the Mew solar beam coming through, and XiS is now taking over the center. Zugrug with the high horsepower and the Unite move right through the Iron Icicle Crash, and there goes Lutano with the Unite move back the other way. Gizen's so low. Can they sustain? Wait. They use the Unite move, but it's Otter gets the KO with the Snow Globe. They're going to try and come back here, but that's a huge KO for them as the Mamoswine Zugrug takes out the Mew. Lucario, the Retsu takes out the Snorlax. KO Streak, a 2 Verano. They're going to find another one. There's just one player left. It's the Azumarill, and they are gone. XiS has bit the dust. TTV is going to melt down this Rayquaza, and her Duck Time Hundo Burgers are on the menu, and there's only one team eating well tonight, and that's their Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2 winners if they can get some of these points in. TTV.
They get all but locked up now. TTV with an incredible team fight win. A full ace as XiS just crumbles a little bit there. The Snorlax locked up with so many crowd controls and stuns that the Unite move couldn't go off for Snorlax to give any of that buddy barrier and shielding. TTV back on top. Your resident Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2 champions. Congratulations to that team.
What a showdown in our finals. Couldn't have asked for more here in Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 2. And what a great way to cap this this tournament series off. Couldn't be happier with everything that has happened. And just today for our finals, every single matchup was an absolute barn burner, Zoiks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were blessed with the best of the best competing in Unite tonight. I seriously think that every game was so exciting, from draft to the final stretch, every little bit in between. Thank you so much to our teams for playing. I know time zone wise, this has got to be tough on the Brazil side for how late this has gotten for them. So thank you for hanging out and playing and putting up such an incredible amount of gameplay. Shout out to TTV for an incredible match win. And yeah, I'm seeing it in chat. Incredible play from Lutano with that big Unite move at the end. Maybe taking the MVP of the finals. I don't know. I wouldn't be hurt if Lutano's the one that secures our MVP vote. But incredible job to both of these squads. Look at these final numbers. Dodrell putting up 68k, Falba 74,000 damage, and 37,000 recovery. Let's go, Drain Crown. Popping off.
It looked good from top to bottom. Zoinks. Let's do our housekeeping stuff.
Sure.
And let's get on out of here. Maybe let's raid Lutano. If we consider them the MVP of the finals, let's go ahead and raid Lutano. So everybody hold tight, but let's do our housekeeping stuff first. Zoinks, kick us off.
Well, first things first, a shout out to our amazing title sponsor of tonight, the Chad TV 69. Go check out the Chad 69 on Twitch, 3 E's in their name, and of course the funny numbers at the end. We love you, the Chad. Thank you for supporting tonight's stream. Thank you everyone who donated to the GoFundMe. The prize pool is looking fantastic. I think we'll probably send out a final tweet with the what the prize pool ended up looking, but as it stands, it is a total of $470 going towards TTV for a fantastic win. So thank you so much for that. Dupes next. Anything you had wanted to say?
Yeah, real quick, if you sub or Amazon Prime to our emote initiative here at Unite Mics, know that you get all our emotes, of course, but all your money that comes our way from that subscription gets donated at the end of each month. We don't keep a dime. We just like playing Pokemon Unite and like doing Pokemon Unite related stuff. On that note, to close out the 2022 year for old Unite Mics, thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Thanks to everybody that played. Thanks for everybody that supports on Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. We couldn't do any of this and keep our passion alive if we didn't have folks that were tuning in and continuing to motivate us. So on behalf of myself, certainly, peace, love, and hugs. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Check out Unite Mics on YouTube, where the VODs of all of these games will definitely be uploaded, as well as the Overdunk podcast that records every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel. Go check out those spaces, and of course, follow Unite Mics on Twitter. The best Christmas gift of all will be getting that account to 1K, I think. So thank you so much for the continued support around Unite Mics in this community. It has been amazing. That being said, we are going to end off tonight's stream with, of course, our amazing Glitch Deck City Beats, and then we'll kick off the raid. So don't go anywhere. Let's send this community somewhere cool.